Hello and welcome back to Horse Racing Systems. The date is the 7th of March 2024. It's approaching 20 past 11 in the morning, and we're going to look on the card at Gosforth Park this afternoon from Newcastle and the all-weather meeting that kicks off at 5:30. I'm going to give you a tip or some tips in every race, but we're going to Dutch, which means we're going to back more than one horse in a race and we're going to try and win even money. So, first of all, we're going to look at the runners in the 5:30. I have done the form for this. I did show you how to get to the horse ratings in the last episode. So we've given a horse here called Lawman's Bliss. So going into the 5:30, we see that the Racing Post have made Lawman's Bliss their 7-2 favourite. But we're going to go into the Betfair prices, which are pretty much better than anywhere else on the exchanges. You can also use Matchbook or Smarkets. So we want to click on here the 17:30, that's it, the 5:30 tonight at Newcastle. Now I'm going to show you how to Dutch with these prices, but at the moment the over round here is 105.3%. So if anyone's thinking of having a bet in this race, do not do it early on. Always do this around 5 minutes before the off, because you will get around 101, but you'll be paying another 4% here. Plus on top, you'll be paying 5% on the winnings if you manage to get any. So looking at Lawman's Bliss here, at the present, he is 6.4. So we put 6.4 in this empty column of AB. So 6.4 tells me that we need to stake 31.25 on this horse. Our returns that we want are going to be 200 per horse. But our stakes overall can only be up to 100, so we can win evens. Our second selection in the race is Desert Quest. So we go down, we have a look for Desert Quest, and we see that Desert Quest is trading at the moment at 10. So if you add these two together, the stakes that we've done so far, it's 51.25, so we're just over half of what we can spend. And the third selection that we are going to bet on is Spirit of Ash. Now, Spirit of Ash is trading at 9.6, so it's another quite good price there, and that means we'll be staking £20.83. If you would have already gone over 100 here, you wouldn't be able to bet any more horses. But as we are still just on the level there of £72.08, it means we still have £27.92 to spend on the next selection. So Musical Masquerade, it's another outsider, showing at 23 on Betfair. So our stakes now are £80.78, so just under £20 to play with, and our next selection is going to be Easter Island. Now Easter Island is trading at 5.6, and that's favourite. And it means we've got to have £35.71. But obviously we haven't got that amount left to spend. We've only got £19.22, so that can be our maximum stake on Easter Island. So you can see at the bottom here, we've staked £100. We've put £31.25 on Lawman's Bliss, and Lawman's Bliss would return us 200. We've put £20 on Desert Quest. This would also return us 200. Spirit of Ash, we've staked £20.83. This would also return us 200. And Musical Masquerade, we have staked £8.70, which would also return us 200. But when we go into the last horse, we could only put a set amount on this because we only had £19.22. So we input that into the calculator and times it by the 560 price that we would have taken, and that would return us 107.63. So with our stakes being 100, this would cover all of our bets if we back the favourite, and it gives us 4 chances of doubling our money. So that's our selections in the first race at Newcastle. That is the 5:30 this evening. And the second race that we're going to move on to will be the 6 o'clock. So we go back into the racing post. The 6 o'clock there, you can see just by looking at the form, there's only one horse that's run 3 times. Everyone else has just had a solo run. So it's not a race that I would like to bet in. I do like to see 3 lines of form on every horse. So what we do now, we go back to our spreadsheet, and then you can see that our top selection here would be Inish Erin. So we're going to have a look into Betfair, and we will put in 6 o'clock. You can also see at the moment that Inish Erin is already trading at a very short price of 177. The maximum we can have, even though it tells us 112.99, we can't lay out no more than £100. So if you were going to bet in that race, that would be your only bet. That would be £100 to win Inish Erin, and you would win £77. And if not, you would lose the whole 100. It's not a race for me to bet in because there's a lack of form. But every horse has run. So that's the second race there. And now we're going to move on to the third race, back into a classified stakes this time at 6:30. Back into the racing post. 12 go to post here. Brother Dave and Tath Mean are joint favourites at 7-2, with Billy McGarry at 4-1. So getting into Betfair once again, we can see that it's a completely different market here, but again, the over round of 110 is not great. I did forget the over round in the last race. Let's have just a quick look there. That was 105. That's getting better, but you still want to wait close to the race. So into the 6:30, as I say, 110.6 here, over round, is bad because you're going to lose 10% on the price of what you would do 5 minutes before the off, and out of any winnings, Betfair would also take another 5%. So back to our spreadsheet, we've got Billy McGarry as our top selection, and Billy McGarry at the moment is trading 6.6. That 6.6 does include your money back. That's roughly 11-2. So the stakes here would be £30.30. Our second selection would be Tath Mean. Now Tath Mean here is installed at favourite at 4.3, roughly 100-30. And the stakes there would be £46.51. And our third selection just happens to be the first 3 in the betting here for this race. Brother Dave is our third selection, which is trading at 5.8. So we have a look at the stakes so far. For the first 2 selections, they come to 76.81, which means there's only £23.19 left. So we can't put the full money on Brother Dave. So at the bottom it tells us that's our £100 stake. £30.30 would return us 200 if Billy McGarry wins. If Tathmeen wins, it would return us 200. And opening up the calculator again for the third horse, that's Brother Dave. Our stake would be £23.19, and we would times that by 5.8, which would be the horse's trading price at the moment, and would return us 134. There'd be a small profit on that of £34. But of course, if none of those won, you would lose 100. So that is the 6:30 race. Moving into the 7 o'clock at Gosforth Park on Newcastle. 7 o'clock here, 8 runners go to post for a Class 6 handicap. And the favourite here, 13-8, is Sun Block. And that is our selection as well. So back into Betfair, click on the 7 o'clock race, and we can see that Sunblock is a lot shorter than they estimated. At the moment, that's trading at 2.34, and we can see that it's 106 all round there at the moment, so that isn't a good price to take. We would leave that till 5 minutes before the off, and that would cost us £85.47. And our second selection would be Redondo, which at the moment is trading at 5.1. Now, regardless of whatever money we've got to put on that, we can only afford £14.53, because that again will bring us to our maximum £100 stake. So £14.53 can go on Redondo at 5.1, which would return us 74. Be better than losing all 100. And if Sunblock wins, we will return 200 and win even money. Into the 7:30 now at Newcastle. Into the racing post again, and at 7:30 we have a Class 5 handicap, and the favourite here is Blue Virtue from Daring Legend and Morning Suit at 100-30, joint second favourites. So back into our Excel spreadsheet, we've actually got Dubai Hills here as our favourite. So we'll go back into Betfair, and this will be the 7:30 at Newcastle. And we've gone here for Dubai Hills. This is 22 trading, so that's a very good bet. And our stake there would be £9.09. Then our second selection would be Morning Suit. And Morning Suit is trading at 7.6. Don't forget the over round here again is 105.8. So you need to wait 5 minutes before the off. So 7.6 is the trading price for Morning Suit. Then we move down to our third selection, which is Influence. Now, Influence is trading at 5 at the moment. So again, that's a £40 stake. And with the 3 so far, it's cost us just over £75. Morning Suit was a £26.32 bet. And we've got about £25 left. And we're going to put that on Blue Virtue. That's trading at 3.55. So 3.55, and that will have a maximum bet of 24.59 instead of what you can see there. And that's our £100 stake done. So if Dubai Hills was to win with our stake of 909, it would return 200. If Morning Suit was to win the race, our stake of £26.32 would return us 200. If Influence wins, the £40 stake would return us 200. And if Blue Virtue wins, which is second favourite at the moment, we would be staking 24.59 at a trading price of 3.55, which would return us 87.29. So again, we'd only lose around £13 if Blue Virtue was to win, but it's a cover bet, and we have 3 running for even money. That's Dubai Hills, Morning Suit and Influence. Now moving to the penultimate race at Newcastle, the 8 o'clock. There's 11 go to post here for a Class 6 handicap. So back into the racing post. The non-runner here, Little Red Dancer. There was a non-runner in the previous race, which was Magic Flute, but we'd already taken that out. So in the 8 o'clock, we'll see the racing post make Captain Wentworth their 5-2 favourite, Blue Collar Lad 3-1, and Bernie the Bear at 13-2. So we'll come back to our spreadsheet here. We make our favourite Fantasy Navigator. So back into Betfair, change the time now to 8 o'clock. And we have Fantasy Navigator that at the moment is trading at 16. This race is not very good with the over round at the moment of 114.2. At 16 for Fantasy Navigator would mean a stake of 12.50. Then we have Blue Collar Lad, which is the favourite at the moment at 3.3, which is just over 9-4. So our stakes are just over £73. And our third selection is Dandy's Gold, which is trading at 19. And 19 means a stake of 10.53, and that brings us up to £83.63. So between 16 and 17 pounds left. And then we've got Atlantic Heart, which is trading at 12.5. 12.5 there means a stake of £16, which we can just about do, and we've got 37 pence left over, which we would put on Bernie the Bear. Not that it would be worth doing, and that would return peanuts. So we won't even worry about that, but we've got 4 running for our £100, and they are Fantasy Navigator at 16, and the stake of 12.50 would return 200. Blue Collar Lad at 3.3, stake £60.61, would also return 200. Dandy's Gold, £10.53 staked, would also return 200. And Atlantic Heart, a stake of £16, would also return 200. So you would have 4 runners there at even money. And moving into our final race, which is the 8:30 at Newcastle, into the racing post, we see that all 9 go at the moment, and it's a Class 6 classified stakes, and this is over 1 mile 5 yards. And their favourite, the racing post, is Anna Emirati at 9-4, with Copper Mountain at 3-1 second favourite, and Retirement Beckons at 7-2. So back to the spreadsheet. Our favourite here is Copper Mountain. So we're going back again for the last time to Betfair for the final race. And Copper Mountain at the moment is trading 4.4. The over round is awful again at 113.5. So Copper Mountain 4.4 all means we've got to put £45, 45 pence on. And Retirement Beckons is trading at 5.3, and this means our stake here would be 37.74, allowing us left to bet £16.81, and that will be going on Anna Emirati. But again, 2.88 roughly translates to 15 to 8. And, you know, we need around 70 quid on that, but that's not going to happen. So we're going to put £16.81 on our final selection. And at the bottom again, you can see that's £100 stakes. If Copper Mountain wins the 45 stake, will return you 200. If Retirement Beckham wins, your stake of 37.74 will return 200. And if Anna Emirati wins, we'll just drag out the calculator for the final time. We've got £16.81 invested, and we're going to times that by 15 to 8, or 2.88 in this case. And that gives us back £48.41, which basically, sorry about that, which basically is half our stake money back. So it's better to get half your stake money back and do it rather than not do it. But you do have two running for you at even money. That's Copper Mountain and Retirement Beckons. So anyone who's investing in Newcastle tonight, well, good luck with that. And later on, after the event and the results are in, I'll do another video to show you how we got on. And don't forget, we have got another video that we will be looking at again later on. That was the Lingfield Park. I'll just run through Lingfield Park. Tortured Soul in the first with At Liberty. The 2.15, Roger Henry, Havana False and Pentacle, but it is a no betting race because there are 3 horses here that are unraced. Then the 2.45, we've got 4 there. You can see the stakes and the prices at the end. I'm not going to read them out, I just want to run through this quickly. King Carbo, the Thames Boatman, and Revenite and Bozan. I have got another video out there which I'll link. Then we've got the 3.20 Ulm, Watch My Tracer and Queen of Zafine. The 3.55 Rabinal, So Chic, My Mate Mike, Almodovar del Rio and Mount Mogan. Into the penultimate race, we've got at 4:30 Hannah's Return and Moorgate, and in the finale at 5:05 we got Something to Do, Mamaluka and Run Joy Run. And both these meetings that we've covered today are all weather. So I hope you have some luck in wherever you're playing this afternoon. Don't forget Betfair prices 5 minutes before the off. Don't ever think about betting in the morning. As you can see, the time now is 11:44 a.m. and just looking into the final race there at Newcastle this evening, 8:30. The over round is 116.5, which is no good. So don't bet and waste your money at this time of day. Just wait for later. Right, so we will be back, as I say, with another video with all the results updated, tell you how we got on. So otherwise, pick some winners out and I'll speak to you later on. Thanks for watching.